Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a January transfer move to Arsenal. Now, first of all, bad news on Santi Cazorla. We know that he's been injured literally the whole season. Recently underwent some surgery to this really niggling injury, this Achilles injury that he's got. And news from Arsene Wenger yesterday that there's still more problems with the injury and that he's had to undergo further surgery, very minor surgery, but further surgery on this problem, and that he's going to be out for quite a long time. I mean, Wenger's quotes were, certainly he will not be available in the next 6 weeks, that is for sure. Santi had a little procedure and we have a meeting with the medical people to see what it was really. So basically, we're looking at not seeing Santi Cazorla anytime soon. I mean, he's out for another 6 weeks. When he comes back, you have the rehabilitation period. You can see the same sort of thing going on at the moment with Danny Welbeck. First of all, they said he'd be back at the end of December. He's only just played his first game. And even then, you're having to bring back a player very gently. So, if he's out for 6 weeks, what would that take him to literally March? Then he's going to have further, but we're not going to see this guy possibly at all this season, which means that there is no creative player in that deep line role. Aaron Ramsey's not really that type of player, nor is Granit Xhaka, nor is Coquelin, nor is El Neni, none of them. We've got a problem. I suppose the one player I was thinking the other day that you could possibly start playing there would be somebody like an Oxlade-Chamberlain, but we have a problem there. Now, Dimitri Payet, I know I keep going on about this, but Dimitri Payet is out there, he's available. Well, I wouldn't say he's available, because West Ham are saying they won't sell him, but he wants to leave. That means going with a serious offer and, they may make him go to Arsenal. You don't know, but you've got to try and go in there and make something happen. I mean, there's rumours at the moment that Chelsea might be going in. And, for me, I still think that he's a player who could play in that role, and he's still a player of top quality. I know he's, thrown his toys out the pram, and there's rumours, going around that he said if West Ham asked him to play, he'll feign injury and stuff like that. But, listen, if he came to Arsenal, he's going to put in some performances week in, week out. We did a poll yesterday, and I asked you guys, I said, should we buy Dimitri Payet? Right? I asked you guys, and the results of the poll is quite resounding. 87% of you said yes, 13% no. That is like resounding. So Arsene Wenger, as I said, is always saying it. If there's a player out there of real quality and I hear about it, this is the guy. Why are we not moving? That's what I think. We don't have a creative player. The creative player we have is at Bournemouth at the moment. We can't come back, offer the loan move. Why not move in and try and get Dimitri Payet? I still think it's something that we should try and do. Talking of Wenger, I've got to say, when he does go, one of the things I will miss is his press conferences. He's very humorous at that. He's very sharp. Asked yesterday about the rumours about Andrea Belletti being linked with Arsenal. His quotes about Donald Trump, where he borrowed like Donald Trump's quote, was absolutely brilliant. Wenger turned around and said, his quotes were, he said, that is what you call today fake news. And I was laughing at that. I mean, of course, we heard the rumours during the week about Belletti, where the club, Torino, one of the sporting director came out and said Arsenal have made a bid. And of £56 million, and a lot of people are scratching their head and saying, Arsenal, £56 million for this kind of unproven guy. Who's telling the truth? Well, Wenger's saying that it's completely fake news. On strikers, though, we've been linked with a striker today, French striker, MBA Niang. He plays for AC Milan, 22 years of age. As I said, he's French, but he's playing over there for AC Milan. He's been doing really, really well. Good striker, can play anywhere across the front three, which I always say, Arsene Wenger, as you know, he loves that. But Milan today have reportedly come out and said, listen, we don't care what offer you're going to put in Arsenal and other suitors, because PSG apparently also in the hunt. They're saying that he is not available. So seems like that is not going to happen, but Arsenal apparently been inquiring about MB and Niang. And finally, you know what, I want to ask you this. Yesterday on Twitter, I saw loads of people taking the mick out of Chelsea because of this whole Diego Costa thing. And in case you haven't heard it, it's like Costa's been dropped for the games this weekend at Chelsea. Really, really weird, this sort of destabilise. You know, they're right at the top doing so well. It's been going so great. And now all of a sudden, this problem with Costa. And the rumour is that he's been destabilised because of a massive bid that's coming for him from China, which would see him get some ridiculous wages. I mean, we're seeing the sort of wages that some of these players are going over there at the moment and getting, like, you know, 300, 400, 500,000 pounds a week. Graziano Pelle was just like a regular striker in the Premier League. He's on about 280,000 pounds a week, which, you know, that's more than nearly all the top earners in the UK, you know what I mean, in the Premier League. So, you know, the money is there, you know. Now, Diego Costa's apparently been sort of tapped up by the Chinese, and he's, you know, he's turning his head because the money is absolutely ridiculous. And as I said, I saw a lot of Arsenal fans taking the mick out of Chelsea because of this. However, you know what? This is also a worry in the Alexis thing, because, you know, my understanding in the whole Alexis thing is that is the other option for Alexis is China. China as well offering him a crazy money to come over there, and that his camp are kind of using that and saying, listen, Arsenal, if you don't cough up the money, we can go to China. Now, this is serious. This is not, you know, this is not a joke. This is not like, you know, just a fake news, as Arsene Wenger would say it. This actually is true, that his team are considering that and saying, you know, wow, the amount of money that he can get over in China. And then they're going back to Arsenal and they're saying, Arsenal, come on. Look, this is the sort of money that these guys are offering. We want you to cough up more money and more money. So it's putting Arsenal and a lot of Premier League teams, including a team like Chelsea with untold money, with an owner like Abramovich, putting them under a lot of pressure. So I don't think this is just a Chelsea problem. These Chinese guys, they ain't no joke. They got some serious money, and they're coming after a lot of the top players, and they're starting to get a lot of the South Americans moving over there. And where is Alexis from? Yeah, South America. So it's a threat. It's a threat. And I think Arsenal would be glad to get this transfer window out of the way, because, you know, there's still, you know, a way to go on that Alexis deal. That's still, you know, I've heard a few things behind the scenes, and it's still not close to getting done because there's still a bit of a standoff between the two camps. So, you know, I heard that Alexis Sanchez, the one good thing about it, I heard that Alexis Sanchez himself wants to stay. But obviously his team are trying to argue to get the most amount of money they possibly can for him. And they're saying, listen, he ain't cough up China, because Arsenal will not sell him to another English club. And apparently they said they're not going to sell him to any other club in Europe. And he's got 18 months left on his contract, and they're prepared to let that run down. They really are playing hardball with this. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But this China thing, as you can see with what's happening to a player like Diego Costa, who's top of the game at the moment, top scorer in the Premier League, in a team that's top of the league, and even he is considering it. I think that shows you that this ain't no joke. This really ain't no joke. Anyway, listen, let's get into some of the comments from yesterday. Matt says, we need to get in Payet. Chelsea have apparently put a bid in for him. We need to get him signed and secured. Obviously, it wouldn't be as easy as that to get it done, but I still think we should be looking at it at the very least. Arsenal fans have gotten so used to Ozil, this is Toyosi, that they want him gone. Before, we didn't even dream of someone who was a chief creator for Cristiano Ronaldo in our team. And that's a very good point that he makes there. As I said, I've been noticing a lot of haters on Mesut Ozil just because he's had a couple of bad games. Been one of our best players this season. All of a sudden, you know, has a bad game against Everton and City. Oh, he's lazy, he's this, he's that. Come on, you know, he's had bad games. He's still a quality player. Gideon says, yes, let's try to get Payet, because for me, I think he's a world-class player and he can add quality to our squad, especially in the Santi role in midfield. Good in the free kicks, corners, passing. Also, I think he'll be a good signing for us. Vang Sang says, Ozil is not a lazy player. He plays very smart. It's called work smarter, not work harder. The only thing I would say with Ozil is that can be very lightweight sometimes in certain games, easily bounced off the ball and things like that. But definitely, listen, if you're looking for Ozil to start crunching into tackles and things, he's not that type of player. Forget it. You're not going to get that from him. That's not where he does his work. He does his work in other areas. Anfionian says, Ozil is not really world class. Well, I'm sorry, I disagree with you. I really, really disagree with you. Let's get one more here. Delco Dash says, sign Payet. The guy is a talent. Simple. He's actually played with Giroud before, along with all the other players in the French team. And you know what? Here's one more here. We don't need Morata, says Jersey. We've got Sonogo. What's happened to Sonogo? I mean, that's another one. I mean, I think his contract's up at the end of the season, but he's got like a mystery illness at the moment that nobody really knows a lot about. I mean, you can't really comment on it too much, but really, I don't know what's up with Sonogo. Anyway, listen, thanks for watching the show today. And don't forget, we'll be back around about the same time tomorrow.